Welcome back to more Disco Elysium. In the last episode, I miraculously, I think with like 17% chance, knocked that guy out. And he's back up now. Interesting. But either way, I was able to push the button behind him, and now I can go ahead and open this door. I feel like I am passing a lot of rare skill checks. Like if my chances are below 50%, I'm hitting a lot of those for whatever reason. I'm not going to complain. Let me just kind of read some of the things here, start investigating. The door is locked and cannot be opened from this side without a passcode. Guess you have no choice but to talk to the union leader. Every worker equals a member of the board is written on top of the flyers. And at the bottom, the union logo. Demand democracy. This is a Dewey typewriter. The model name is on the back. A standard office file cabinet. The drawers seem to be locked. Someone left the coffee machine on. The dark liquid in the pot almost looks sentient. The radio is emitting strange buzzing sounds. What is this? Book La Fumée, Volume 1, Number 4.
On second glance, someone has forgotten to properly close one of the drawers.
It's unfortunate for the union to just leave their paperwork lying around like this.
Let's see what's inside, he thinks.
Open the drawer.
The drawer opens smoothly. Inside is a well-organized selection of brown folders.
Browse through them.
Hundreds of documents containing logistical data. Two kinds of transactions stand out. Materials coming into Revachol from the outside world, from Muindi, Grad, and even Ilmara. And the same materials being handed over to companies inside Revachol, Couron, Coal City, La Delta, and Jamrock. Are listed among the many districts where the imports are being sold.
Anything interesting?
It's hard to make sense of this thicket of company names, dates, quantities, and percentages. You try to focus, but the lines are getting blurry.
Let's try the volition check.
Whatever's hidden here is hidden well. Concentration isn't enough. Only a trained accountant with a background in logistics would be able to really make sense of it. However, there is a little handwritten note stuck on the side of the drawer.
You see, that's what I was saying, 42%, and I still managed to hit it. Let me look at the note.
It appears to be a to-do list written in large, uneven capital letters. Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
Turn to the lieutenant and say, "Look, Kim, a to-do note with a list of errands for Everard."
Everard Clare, probably. The head of the Debarders Union. One of his aides must have left it. Nothing incriminating here.
The special borscht seems a bit odd in the list.
Take another look at the note.
Remember, Leo, Everart's shoes, special whirling borscht, water Everart's plants, sweep office floor, more banners. All items on the list have been crossed out, and the note itself is crumpled.
Let me close the drawer.
The drawer slides shut smoothly.
Alright, so not much there yet. And this is Le Jardin 21. Some sunglasses will give me +1 visual calculus. Oh, what did I take there? I didn't even see. Magnesium. Alright, good. Let me look at my new items. These were stuffed away in the dock worker union's office. They're perfect for scribbling down paperwork when the sun tries to get in your eye. Good for staring down suspects too. So this gives me logic minus authority though. This gives me visual calculus minus drama. Okay, I think I'm not going to change anything for right now. This laminated postcard offers a glimpse across the river. A little more than a decade after the war, the Eastern Bank is already fully renovated. The hillsides are lush with gardens and residences. Someone's parked a small beige airship by the fountain. This postcard will sell for a pretty penny. The leading intellectual organs of the Martinez communism offers a radical Mazovian perspective on a range of contemporary issues. The cover features a stylized portrait of the late King Frissel with a pair of white antlers growing out of his head.
The front of this quarterly journal features a large satirical portrait of the late King Frissel. From the sides of his head, a pair of white antlers spread to the corners of the cover.
Why Frissel?
Because Frissel was incompetent, foolish, and cruel. In short, the embodiment of everything the communards wished to overthrow. It's satire, you see.
Flip through the pages and see what catches your eye.
To your disappointment, there aren't any full-color pictures to direct your attention. Just column after column of closely set text, interrupted occasionally by little doodles in black and white. After rifling the pages with your thumb several times, you return to the table of contents. The magazine is divided into several sections: international developments, Kunst und Kultur, and local concerns. Just inside the cover, there's also an editor's note.
Let's see the editor's note.
Comrade, as you know, this journal takes its name from Mazov's immortal expression, du cristal à la fumée. This was his way of describing the way the rigid, crystalline structures of capitalist ideology turned to smoke under communism. But, like the structures of capitalist ideology, we too are at risk of going à la fumée. Unlike many publications which are content to spoon-feed their readers reassuring drivel, La Fumée is committed to telling the radical truth, even when that truth may drive away potential subscribers. Only 4 issues in, and it sounds like they've already alienated their readership. So please, if you value our radical Mazovian perspective on contemporary politics, culture, and international affairs, please consider subscribing today. Yours in struggle, the editors.
Kim, I think this is a communist magazine, my god.
What do you expect? It was laying around the office of the Debarders Union. They're probably bankrolling the thing.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
I want to catch up on international developments.
This section includes a long, tedious critique of the latest round of free trade negotiations between the EPIS nations and the Free State of Semenine. You also skip over an article about heavy fuel oil smuggling along the Messina border, something about bear wrestling in Samara, book riots in Yugograd. Face it, you really aren't interested in foreign affairs. You're not even sure where most of these countries are. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
What is Kunst und Kultur?
It takes a moment, but gradually it dawns on you that Kunst und Kultur must mean arts and culture. Why they decided to title this one section in Volda is beyond you. It evokes a sense of recognition and fellowship among those privileged enough to understand. As you leaf through this section, you come across several reviews of recent radio plays, as well as a brief artist spotlight featuring a local artist identified only as CS. The main feature, though, is a long essay titled Tip Top Tournée, a critical Mazovian perspective. The Tip Top Tournée is an inter-Isolari racing series, mostly known for its high speeds, ludicrous sponsorship deals, and high death toll. In Revachol, it's held quadrennially on the prestigious Zero Carousel racing circuit.
Let me read the profile of CS.
This so-called artist spotlight is really just a brief Q&A, made all the briefer by the subject's evident hostility to her interviewer.
Alright, let's see what these communists have to say about Tip Top.
You think you're settling in for a relaxing recap of the most recent season, maybe sprinkled with some nice anecdotes about a few of the more colorful drivers. Instead, you find yourself skimming a 10,000-word feature about all the politically problematic aspects of Tip Top Tourney.
Wait, what's wrong with Tip Top?
Where to even start? For one, there's the crass commercialism of its sponsorships, and then there's the practically criminal emphasis on deadly motor crashes. So, all of it, basically.
Hang on, who wrote this stuff?
Oddly enough, this article has 2 bylines. Nasteb Encolada Bernal and Exilus Buka. There's no way those are real names.
Wait, why aren't they real names?
Have you ever met anyone named Exilus? Come on, they're plainly pseudonyms.
What's so bad about sponsorships?
Under capitalism, the article says, every pursuit has its price. Every pleasure, even one as elemental as the joy of racing others around a track, is reduced to an advertising opportunity. Thus, the so-called tourney becomes a competition between increasingly meaningless brand signifiers. Your discount laundry detergent racing against a pack of Astra cigarettes, or even a Fritta.
Right, but then you get to see them crash.
And that precisely is what's problematic about it. Were it not for the promise of random, spectacular violence, audiences would quickly lose interest. At the end of the day, it's the destruction of these 750,000 real races that you're really watching for.
Wow, you're right. I really am just in it for the violence.
You see, one cannot avoid the conclusion that Tip Top Tourney is simply the apotheosis of spectacular entertainment under capitalism.
Kim, did you know that Tip Top Tourney is actually an orgiastic ritual of capitalistic destruction? I had no idea.
I can safely say the thought had never crossed my mind, Detective.
I wonder what else is really just a metaphor for life under capitalism.
I'm sure most things are, if the young men who wrote this article are to be believed. If I had to wager, I'd say they've never even seen the inside of a motor, much less a motor race. I take whatever they write with a large grain of salt.
You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
Let's see what they mean by local concerns.
Unsurprisingly, much of this section is taken up with articles declaring unqualified support for the dockworkers' strike. You skim the headlines. Paint the harbor red and white. Martinez tames the wild pines. A city in revolt. First we take Martinez, then we take La Delta. Finally, there's a brief article by the writer, G. Martin, accusing the owner of the Capeside apartments of illegally attempting to evict certain communist tenants simply for not having paid their rent.
Damn communist. Should have killed a lot of them when they had the chance.
One of the editorials proclaims that the more the forces of reaction attempt to crush the body, the more defiant the spirit of communism becomes. You flip back to the front of the magazine. The table of contents unfolds before you.
I'm gonna put the magazine away. Okay. By the way, I think I am going to put this bag here where I'm carrying the alcohol, because it says it allows me to collect tear from the street, so maybe I need to have it equipped before that even becomes an option, so kind of want to check that out.
An imposing combination of a punch clock and a payphone is looking down at you from the wall. A note on the side says, "Tokens unavailable due to strike. Use change."
Let me try to put 10 cents in there and see what happens.
The machine swallows your coin and seems to be waiting for your next move.
Okay, let me leave. It's going to be interfacing. I think I have some interfacing clothes. Let me take a look. Pretty sure I did anyway. Maybe I'm already wearing them. Yeah, the gloves, the yellow gloves. Okay. So yeah, I'll try it out.
The already familiar cold
58%.
touch of plastic welcomes you as you pick. It's unclear whether you actually have muscle memory. Right now, your finger is just drawing vaguely occult patterns in the air.
Useful patterns?
Undoubtedly, no.
I might try this again later.
Sure, why not? Muscle memory is a tricky thing.
Alright, let me leave. Unfortunately, that did not work. Let me make sure I didn't miss anything in here.
The file cabinet stands steady as ever. Sliding out, a drawer the drawer slides shut.
Doesn't look like it. Let me go up. Oh, so I don't have to worry about that jump since I made it through.
The tarpaulin cloak is still hanging on the railing. The white rectangle of the Revachol Citizens Militia is clearly visible on its back.
Let me grab the cloak.
As your fingers touch the tarpaulin, it almost feels like the cloak wants to deliver a message of comfort through your fingertips. I will shield you from the elements and give my life for yours. That's what the cloak is relaying.
Okay, let me look at it. It'll give me +1 Esprit de Corps and Shivers. Okay, so that's an upgrade, and I think there's probably going to be something in the pockets once I put it on. Nope. Doesn't look like it. Let me look at my journal here. What is the race enigma? Put the advanced race theory idea into a free internalizing slot in your head. If there are no free slots, free one up. Then pass some time, and when it's internalized, return to measurehead. This is how thinking is done. So I need to level up before I can do that. Collecting rainwater. There's a glass tear. There you go. That's what I figured. You need the bag available. That way you can start grabbing all these random little things. Numerous empty bottles of Commodore Red and potent Pilsner. At least 3 packs worth of cigarette butts.
All those empty wine bottles and cigarette butts on the ground. Someone partied really, really hard here.
Wait, how hard?
Well, they went through 6 bottles of potent Pilsner, 3 bottles of Commodore Red, and almost 4 packs of cigarettes. It must have been pretty hard.
Did I do this?
Well, yes, I think we can say with relative confidence that it was you.
Let me see what I want to say. I must have been on an advanced scouting mission in the harbor.
Yes, this looks pretty advanced, all right. For now, let's just move on.
Okay, what did I get? I don't know, it was shining like I got something, but I didn't really get anything. Actually, I can grab all of these. I guess that's a way for me to make money. Let me come back here. I missed a couple things. Let me check this out. All around you, great machines in quiescence. White pine trees are printed onto the screen covering. Looks like a forest under snow. Wait, where am I going? I'm not trying to go all the way over there. Alright, I don't want to... I'm trying to figure out which path is the dead end here. I like to take care of the dead ends first. So let me actually come in here.
This is the Night Watchman's booth. The name on the door reads, René Arnaud. Listen, it's okay to take a few minutes to yourself. Sit down and have a breather.
So, this is where Renee works. I'm gonna look around.
If you must. But please hurry. We are pretty easy to spot up here.
Nothing incriminating catches your eye. The cabinets are clean and their sparse contents meticulously organized. There's a framed photograph on the table.
I'll take it.
It's a black and white photo of a young couple out in a street fair. The man, Rene, is dressed in a Royal Carabinieri uniform. The girl is young and very pretty. She is smiling playfully at the camera.
Why did you take that picture of René?
I'm gonna ask him about it.
You're really interested in that old soldier. Not sure I understand your fascination, but sure, as long as it doesn't take up a whole lot of time.
Have a seat and
The
rest.
chair is not as austere as the rest of the booth. A thin grey pillow is attached to the seat, secured to the stiles by black ribbons.
Search for a little something something to help get you out.
The drawers are empty, save for old timesheets and receipts. One small box, however, does hold some cheap painkillers. They are slightly out of date.
Take the painkillers.
You take the painkillers. They are yours now.
Don't need to worry about side effects.
You stand and exit the booth. This
All right.
is the night watchman's.
Yeah, I think I'm done here. Okay. So now let me go back over here. Let me actually look at my item, the photograph. A black and white photo of a couple posing in front of a Ferris wheel. The girl is young and pretty, and the man clad in fancy uniform and smiling. On the back of the very steady hand is written the words, Revachol Fair, Summer 91. The photo you found is the night watchman's booth, the one with the happy couple. Ask Renee about it. He looked uncharacteristically happy in the picture. Alright, I will find that. A composite eye of halogen light watches you, emitting a low buzz. Guess let me come up here. I want to push that. Let me come up here first before I start messing with that button. That looks important. You see the faded industrial lettering on the platform. Valsund. Let me come up here. See what else is over this way. Man, there is a lot of stuff. The shipyard ahead is oddly quiet. The great machines are sleeping. There's some of that rope that looks oddly familiar. Maybe we've seen that somewhere. Like around the victim's neck. My God. Let me just check this out, see what it is.
A rusting control panel with several knobs. 2 buttons marked Marche and Arrête are faded with use. It seems to control the large crane above. A container is attached to its hook block. Marche. On. Arrête. Off.
Well, let's turn it on.
With a loud grind, the crane shifts overhead, moving a massive metal container through the air.
Alright, looks like it's bringing the container down. Hopefully I can search in there and find all sorts of goodies.
And, with a surprisingly quiet thunk, the crane places the container down. This crane was built with a purpose, which has now been fulfilled. To move this container.
What's inside the container?
Who can say? All you know is, it's special.
I can't see how that was worth the wreckers, except for seeing the crane in action, which I admit was satisfying.
So now I should turn the crane off, I guess.
The crane does not return to its original position. It does not move at all.
Let's leave. Oh, look at this. Is that there before? Certainly not, right? I wouldn't have missed that. Some money. Valsoon means Whale Fjord in Ardon.
Before you stands a cargo container, just one of many in the yard.
Lieutenant, I think there's something special about this container.
Is this like your thing with that wall again?
Maybe, I can't tell. I think we should investigate further.
You do? Because I don't.
What? Why not?
There are a million containers here. Why are you fixating on this one?
I don't know, Kim. It just feels special.
It's a cargo container, Detective, just like all the others. We are not here to interact with containers. We are here to get the body down from the tree.
Let me knock on the door.
No reply.
Let me open it.
You attempt to turn the handle, to no avail. The doors seem to be mechanically locked. To your left, the lieutenant considers your actions with some puzzlement.
I have a lot of rhetoric, but somehow this is only 8%. Let me try it anyway, I guess.
Why are you even trying to open a door with rhetoric?
Because getting physical wasn't an option.
Because what wasn't an option?
The lieutenant looked startled. Using my body over wits.
Now is not the time to get philosophical, Detective. You can do that after hours.
Nothing more to do here for now. I have to come back to that check. The list of checks I need to get back to is ever growing. It's like I can't interact with the rope here. I thought I'd be able to. This speaker tower is silent. There's no work to organize in the yard below. Let me check this out. The musk of oil and rust comes from the chasm in front of you. Smells like blood. Alright, looks like I can't really use that. Industrialized sized thermos. Smells like burnt coffee. Some cash, good. Some trinkets here. Things container. Let me look at this. The banner sags under the weight of the rain and snow, white waves on red. Soon, oh soon, green is gone and everything is red. Let me pick up more bottles here. No, I didn't mean to click him. He was just in the way. Okay. I love that I'm collecting trash for scrap money.
Container, I'll turn you nice and red. Container, put the logos on.
The lyrics to this container song are being made up as he goes along. The accent is so thick, it's impossible not to notice he's Ubi, from the vanishing peninsula of Ubisund on Muindi.
Container, used to be Wild Pines. Container, now belongs to Everard.
The tiny man is so engaged in his work he doesn't notice you. Hi.
Everard, he looks after everyone. Huh? Well, hey there. How can I help you, mister? I see you are not a union man, mister. Did you get lost? You're not one of them scabs, are you?
A shadow passes over his kind face. What is it with you people and scabs?
I mean, I don't personally mind. Folks is just folks, you know, and folks gotta eat.
He doesn't seem to be waiting for you to answer.
Just some of the other guys don't look too kindly on the scabbing kind, if you know what I mean, mister.
You're Ubi, right?
Oh yes, born and raised in Arish, mister. Mum had to leave my dad after he got a bit violent. Took us here to the new world. I was about 10 then, too old to lose my accent then. People say us Ubis are up to all sorts of trouble with sheep and other animals and whatnot. I just want you to know there was never any of that where I come from. No, sir. Those are just nasty rumors.
Thank you for clarifying that, sir.
What are you doing with the containers?
Oh, I'm just making some covers for them containers here. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. So it's easier for the crane operators to spot them.
He waves at the containers towering behind him. So let me try this. It's a red check, but I'm at 72%. What's going on here? Look at the mountains of containers rising behind him.
The containers in the yard are green in Wild Pine's livery, and the mountains rising behind Leo is all red in Union colors. It's like some red infection was spreading outwards from the container yard's core.
This looks like a massive redecorating operation, Kim.
Yes, they are hiding it from the inside. All the red containers have the Debarders Union logo on them.
Leo, has anyone told you why you need to change the covers?
No, not really. Mr. Everett doesn't tell me all the big things. Says I go and tell them to everyone.
Thanks, Leo. You've been very helpful.
Oh, no trouble at all, mister. No trouble at all.
Where is everyone? The harbor is empty.
Oh, most of the guys are down at the gates, keeping the scabs from coming in.
He leans in with a confidential look.
We're on a strike. The whole union is. You don't have to work when you're on strike. Ha! We haven't worked for 2 months now.
So no one is working?
Not everyone is down there, of course. Mr. Everard is in his office, where he always is. And Jean-Luc is guarding the gate.
He pauses to think.
But Titus and his boys got into some drunken trouble and Everard sent them on a nice vacation. For a week or so.
He stops, but seems eager to tell you more. What trouble did Titus and his friends get into?
Oh, I'm not really supposed to talk about that. That's union business.
He smiles and leans closer.
Him and his boys stirred up something in town. Probably drank too much and got into a fight or something. I heard Mr. Everett telling them to take some time off.
Don't go all bad cop on this simple, friendly fellow.
But what did they actually do?
I guess the boys got a bit too rowdy and had to let out some steam. I don't really know the details. Well, that's just how boys are, you know. I haven't been in a fight since I was in middle school.
Easy, Leo. Let's keep this on the hearties.
He looks to you for assistance.
Look at him. It's not going to be anything useful anyway. Don't fight it. Better to go with the flow.
Too rowdy. Leo, what kind of a fight did they get into? Did they kill a mercenary?
Too late. Leo's mouth is still moving, and the words are spewing forth. Words, words, and look, even more words. This guy could go on till the end of days. Now he's talking about some drunk sawmill owner who... No, he already switched to a prized fishing rod he apparently owned at some point. You know what? Just cut in there with your questions.
Do you work here?
Yes, yes. Everybody needs a job, and this is mine. I'm Leonard, by the way. Leonard Bellick. But everyone calls me Leo.
The little man raises his hand in a welcoming gesture.
I'm like Mr. Everett's right-hand man when Mr. Edgar is out of town, and Mr. Edgar's right-hand man when Mr. Everett is away. Actually, Miss Beaufort is the right-hand man, but she's a lady.
Who is this, Miss Beaufort?
A real pretty lady with a skin like those Douai Sucre candy bars my missus likes so much. Them are real nice to suckle on once the dinner is done and me and the missus sit down beside the radio. But I can't listen to the radio all the time. There's so much to do around here and I'm always busy keeping things running here. Yes I am, yes I am.
Hold on, who's this Miss Beaufort you mentioned?
Oh, Lizzie. She is a real sharp tool. Mr. Everett put her through some fancy school and everything, east of the river. 4 years she was gone, and when she came back, she was all fancy and lawyerly.
He respects that word. That's obvious.
But she's a real nice girl. Grew up in this here neighborhood, knows everybody and gets along with everyone. Real pillar of the community one day, I'm sure. If me missus and me was to have a child, I'd be real happy if she turned out like her. but she can't have kids. Dr. Lemaitre said so, and she knows about such things. Been a doctor for almost 50 years, she has.
He sighs and falls silent, watching you meekly with his blue eyes.
Law school? Could she be talking about the union fixer, aka the gardener?
Okay, so this is the union fixer, the gardener.
Looks like it.
I'm not sure what a fixer is, but she is a real nice girl. Smart as a whip, too.
The little guy smiles a disarming smile at you.
Telling the gardener you know her name might throw her off. Perhaps something to consider later.
Are you the Leo who wrote the note to make more banners?
Oh, yes. I leave all kinds of notes for myself. That old head of mine ain't so good at keeping things in no more. I almost forgot about the borscht.
And what was that about the borscht?
Oh, yes. I've been taking special whirling borscht to the men every day since the strike started.
The little guy chuckles merrily.
It's very, very good. Makes a man feel so warm and happy. I feel like I could take on Mr. Renadan's boar dogs every time the lunch is done.
What do you mean by taking the soup to the men? Is it for striking?
Yes. I'm taking it to them. The borscht keeps them happy and in fighting spirits. Makes you all warm inside. They brew it in the whirling in rags.
Hold up, who makes it at the whirling?
Oh, the whirling's cook. He makes it. Them is always talking with Mr. Manana in that weird language and laughing together. He doesn't speak what we speak. He's from Grad.
Something is off about this borscht. I'm going to look into it.
Oh, sure, mister. Sure. You do that. Yes, sir.
What's in that container over there?
Oh, that one. That should be empty as far as I know. Lots of containers here have nothing in them. They're just waiting to be loaded up.
Told you.
I'm looking for the leader of the dock workers union.
Oh, you want Mr. Everard then? He's an awfully nice fellow, he is. Him and his brother are both nice fellows. They've lived their entire lives in this here neighborhood.
He coughs and continues immediately.
Guys like Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar, his brother, are real good guys. Made Martinez what it is today. Mr. Everard and Mr. Edgar and I went to the same school we did when we were boys.
Easy now, Leo. I just want to know where I can find this man.
Oh, Mr. Everard is where he always is. In his office, of course.
He points to the 2 joint containers on your right. Okay, I'm off.
Bye-bye now.
He returns to his work. What did I get in items? It was flashing. What's so special about the borscht the strikers are eating? The cook at the Whirling In Rags is making it. You can find him in the kitchen. Look into it. Alright, let me go in here. Should be getting close to the office. The coffee in the giant thermoses is still lukewarm. A stair made of pellets leading up. There's the boss. Gonna look at his swordfish first. A taxidermy fish tells time.
Before you is a walrus of a man seated behind a large desk. He looks up from his work, not the least bit surprised to see you.
Wow, it's an interesting looking man.
With great effort, he straightens himself up in his chair, yet says nothing. He simply stares at you.
Let's get straight to business. There's a dead body in a tree.
Welcome, Mr. Dubois, Mr. Kitsuragi. It's good of you two to stop by. Please, have a seat.
He gestures to a tiny chair opposite his giant desk.
I'm Everard Clare, head of the Debarders Union here in Martinez.
The man relaxes into his chair and continues.
I'd offer you my hand, but unfortunately my health prevents me from getting up. You understand?
He looks extremely comfortable. The tiny folding chair, on the other hand, looks like a torture device.
You go ahead, detective.
The lieutenant nods at you, then the chair.
Whatever he has in store for you, it can't be good, he thinks. I'll do my best. Forget about that. What's with this Dubois stuff? You're getting some seriously bad vibes from that name.
Why are you calling me Mr. Dubois?
Please, Mr. Dubois, let us converse in a civilized manner, as equals. Take a seat. I insist.
It's nothing. Yes, that's probably right. It's nothing. Forget about it. Filter it out.
I don't sit. It's kind of my thing.
Very well, Mr. Dubois. I respect a man with strong convictions.
He nods, his multiple chins move like ocean waves.
I, too, have convictions. One of which is that I will not engage with any man who won't face me at eye level. Should you find yourself more amenable in the future, I'd gladly resume our conversation. But until then, I'm afraid I must ask you to leave.
He turns back to his typewriter.
You're no Titan of Volition, buddy. He's got you in a fork. Sit down or leave.
Dang, man. This guy's already got the upper hand on me. He'd give Kuno a run for his money.
Excellent, Mr. Dubois. I can see that you're a reasonable man, and reasonable men can be of great use to one another.
I'm gonna remain serious.
So tell me, how can the head of the Debarders Union help a representative of the Revachol Citizens Militia today?
The chair you're sitting on has got to be the most uncomfortable chair in the world. It's violating your backside.
Heal up there.
By the way, I heard you got a rather rude reception from a certain Lawrence Gart. Some people have no manners, it pains me to say. This should take care of that nonsense.
He points to a giant novelty check on his desk. It's absolutely comically huge.
It should be sufficient to cover your expenses for a few days and patch over your differences with a cafeteria manager. Go ahead, take it.
He points at it again.
Hey, that's 25 real. That's good money. Think of all the stuff you could.
Let me think about what I want to say here. I'm gonna take the check but not say anything.
Is there anything you'd like to say to me? Or...
No.
No, it's cool.
Cool? I wouldn't go that far. I'm sure there are cooler things than delivering a comically oversized novelty check to a cafeteria manager. But, sure, if that's what's cool nowadays. Now, I'd like to set your mind at ease about one other matter. Your lost gun. Let me assure you, Union people are on it as we speak. I've got my best hounds looking for that lost gun.
His slug-like lips move, but all you hear is an echo. Lost gun, lost gun, lost gun. The world is swallowed by a black hole of fear. Only two words escape its gravitational pull. Lost and gun.
Let me heal up here.
When he said, "Don't worry," he actually meant, be very worried.
How do you know about my lost gun?
I know everything, Harry. Right now, I know that you're worried. Don't be worried. Everything's going to be all right.
So Harry Dubois, huh? Is that my name?
It's not like you left it loaded. You didn't lose a loaded gun. Local children aren't out there playing with it right now, pointing it into their own mouths. It's in a safe place. I just know it. I have a feeling everything's going to be all right.
Kim.
Officer, we will deal with this later. We don't need Mr. Clare's help with this.
I wouldn't be so sure about that.
Alright, I'm gonna have to try the composure. It's low percent here.
God, you're sweating. Your knee is jerking. You're about to cry, aren't you? You're about to cry because you lost your gun and those children are gonna shoot themselves with it.
No, I'm not about to cry.
Mr. Dubois, you don't look so good.
What is this, Mr. Dubois? He keeps repeating. What is he trying to pull here? You need to cool the fuck down. Chill.
Let me try again here. Heal the morale.
Mr. Dubois! Mr. Dubois! Harry!
The large man snaps his fingers, but no effect. You're in some stupor. There are no Harrys. Let your mind go to a safe place.
Mr. Dubois, are you okay? Can I get you a glass of water or something? Are you having some kind of medical emergency?
Maybe you could use your hands somehow, in a kind of throw-in motion, like you're throwing that Mr. Dubois act right back at him. He's Mr. Dubois.
Nah, I'm as good as it gets, Mr. Dubois.
Don't be dramatic. I can see your condition isn't terminal.
What an odd demonstration of... you got me, Harry. I don't even know what. As entertaining as it was, I'm afraid we're wasting our time. And I'm an extremely busy man, as I'm sure you are too.
Okay, enough. We are here to ask you some questions pertaining to a murder investigation.
It is about time to stop embarrassing yourself. Questions will help you regain some of your lost dignity.
I'm told the Union is involved in the local drug trade.
What? Harry, how could you say that to me? You know I appreciate a joke as much as any Johnny Fat Guy, but I can't take slander. Are you actually investigating this?
The reaction appears to be sincere, but it's impossible to tell with this guy, honestly.
No comment.
Harry, you wound me, Harry, in the heart. But I trust you to put this to bed. Do what you must, and let's change the subject, shall we?
He's hiding his real reaction beneath courtesy.
Thank you for your understanding. We will continue to do what we must.
You too, Lieutenant. You know, I like you, but you never were my favorite. I'm a Harry guy. I'm Team Harry.
None taken. Did we have anything else to do here, Harry?
Could you help me get a dead body down from a tree?
You might have noticed there's one hanging on a tree behind the hostel cafeteria.
Oh my. Don't take this question personally, but why would I get involved in this matter?
Mr. Clare, the man was hanged with a cargo belt. A steel-reinforced cargo belt. It's safe to assume the Union had something to do with the murder. Besides, getting the body down would benefit all of us. It's a stain on the neighborhood.
You are a community leader. Help your community out.
I can certainly see how having him up there might start affecting some real estate values.
He licks his fat lips and smiles.
But of course, all joking aside, I am going to help you.
He picks up the handset of a radio phone to his right, then clicks a button.
Jean-Luc, the cop who bested you in physical combat is here, and he has a little dead body in a tree problem. Namely, he needs it to be taken down. Please extend him this courtesy. You can find Jean-Luc down at the gates, but you already knew that. Anyway, he's going to help you.
Ah, the guy knocked out with a roundhouse kick. Aren't you going to ask me how I got in?
Am I going to ask? Hell, Harry. You spin-kicked my strongest man in the face. I saw it from my window. Would you ask a man like that how he got into your container yard?
I understand I am a terrifying death machine.
Don't worry, Harry. Between you and me, I'm not a huge fan of his race thing. But the Union did not get where we are today by frowning on eccentricity. Anyway, I assure you, I am a very well-informed man. Information reaches me before I even get the chance to request it.
I want to talk about the hanging.
Oh, of course. That's your main thing here. That's why you're in Martinez. I know everything that goes on around here, and I would love to help you, like I'm helping you with the body. I mean, it's no secret that the lynching is connected to the strike. So much to talk about. Honestly, it's been weighing on me so heavily. I understand you need to interview me.
I'm gonna say nothing.
But there's a thing that's been keeping me up at night. I want to talk about the hanging. I mean, If we could just calmly talk, exchange information, we could blow this thing wide open.
Yes, that sounds good. Let's do that.
But I can't think straight with this thing weighing on me. You're police officers, aren't you? I have a crazy idea. You guys are basically door-opening machines, incredibly talented at opening doors.
I've opened a few doors in my life.
And I'm sure you're going to open this one with flying colors, Harry. This really is very simple, and there's nothing shady about it.
An excellent opportunity presents itself, sire. You could win the trust of the arch-liar, pretend to play into his hand. Then, should you wish, bend his efforts towards your own.
I bet he don't know anything about the hanging.
Harry, my dear friend, I am what people call a local bigwig. I know everything that goes on in Martinez.
Whose door is it?
Oh, no one's. It's just a weasel. A weasel lives there. Nothing for you to worry about.
What do you mean by a weasel?
A loud blabbering weasel. When weasels feel no one is watching, they start acting foolishly.
He removes his glasses and rubs his nose.
Just go there, unlock the door, and leave it open. It's been such a burden on me, Harry. I just want this to be over so I can discuss business with you.
He puts his glasses back on. Why don't you just open it yourself?
Harry, I'm a very busy man, and more importantly, I don't have that extraordinary physique you do. You look like you could run around all day.
You want to send someone a message that the police are working for you.
I repeat, I'm a very, very busy man, Mr. Kitsuragi, and therefore I must occasionally enlist outside help. So what will it be, Harry?
Damn it. Fine, I'll look into it. We need to talk about that murder.
Fantastic, my friend. Just let me know when it's done and we can take our friendship to the next level.
He flicks his fingers.
You can get the key from Manana. He's down by the gates. Manana's like a free agent in the Union. Special operations. Hardened socialist. A real free thinker, too. He'll tell you precisely where the door is. One last thing, Harry.
He smiles, obviously satisfied with how well he planned it all out.
Just open the door. You don't need to go in or anything. I just want that weasel to come home and see the unlocked door.
You call me Mr. Dubois. Why?
Of course. Let us dispatch with the formalities. You call me Everard, I call you Harry.
That's what the hanged corpse called you. Harry.
So that's really my name.
My God, so it's true. I didn't want to believe it, but you are a fantastic science fiction amnesiac cop, aren't you? What are the odds of that?
I think the odds of that are very low.
It might be a good idea to hide your confusion. I mean, see what his game is first.
My memory is fine, I'm just testing you.
So good to hear that, Harry. Apparently my sources were wrong. However, if you did have a spot of memory trouble, I could help you out. With my big fat folder.
Words flow like a river of honey from his lips. I guess word has already reached him. No matter. No harm done.
Are you trying to tell me you've gotten hold of some of our documents?
The lieutenant inspects Everard over his spectacles.
Mr. Kitsuragi, would you mind? Me and Harry are talking about his lost identity right now.
Don't just jump to the folder. That's not smart. Shows you're on the edge. Do some probing first.
Let me see what I want to go with. Do you know anything about my family? Do I have a wife or kids or...
Family? Harry, you're not a family man. There's not one peep of family in here. Unless you think you're a family man. Do you strike yourself as a family man, Harry?
I think I do. I'd be a wonderful father.
Well, yes. I'm sure you're going to make one little boy or a girl very happy and proud one day, Harry.
Let's get this straight. What is my full name?
It's Harry. Harry Dubois.
You feel like a Dubois, but you don't feel like a Harry. Strange.
I feel like a Dubois, but not quite like a Harry. Something longer.
Sure, okay. You're Harold. Harmon. Haroldamus. But that's not what the record says. The record says Harry Dubois, a real man's name.
He taps on the folder.
Mr. Kitsuragi doesn't seem even slightly empathetic to your memory loss, Harry. I, however, wish to help you any way I can.
What kind of cop does it say I am?
Harry, you're not simply a cop, you're a star. A bright shining star in the drab law enforcement sky, outshining all other stars. You're a superstar.
That's what I like about you, Everard. You get me.
Of course I do, Harry. And I'm gonna help you shine. I'm gonna put you on all the big stages, your name in giant neon letters. Harry Dubois.
The giant neon sign reading Harry Dubois, hanging from the Cavalson crane, can be seen all the way to Jamrock. Somewhere in Mirova, a beautiful woman sees the bright glow on the horizon and says to herself, "Oh my God, I shouldn't have left him."
Let me go with, where did you get that folder?
Ah, this? My friends in your organization gave it to me, Harry.
This translates into, haha, you guys are so corrupt.
I find that very suspicious. May I have a look?
I'm afraid this is meant for Union eyes only, Mr. Kitsuragi. I'm sure you understand. Please continue, Harry.
So let me try to have another look at the folder. 92%.
As you look at the folder, Everard covers it with his hand and pets it. He's hiding it from you because it's not a real RCM folder. It's just another one of those brown folders you saw in the file cabinet.
That's not an RCM folder.
Okay, Harry, you got me. This is from the Census Bureau, not the RCM. Those Census Bureau people are absolutely corrupt. You should do something about them.
He got the name from the Census Bureau, and everything else from your actions here in Martinez.
Yes, Mr. Kitsuragi from the Census Bureau. Like I said, now I'm actually a very busy man, so is there anything else I can do for you, Harry?
That means he doesn't really know anything about you. A pity. The mystery of you will have to remain a mystery for the time being.
So the Census Bureau says my name is Harry Dubois.
Yes, that's what I said. Try to keep up, okay? Let's move on.
Let's talk about my lost gun.
Yes, your lost gun. My best men are on it. They're turning every stone, searching every playground, asking kids, grandmas, everyone. Your gun will be found, Harry. Let me assure you of that. It's just a matter of time and effort.
The only way to find it seems to be working with him. He might even be holding your gun hostage.
Wait, the gun may have been bought from Roy's pawn shop. Have your men factored that in?
Yes, thank you for the hot tip regarding your lost gun, Harry. My men have indeed factored in that you pawned it. Now please, let the professionals do their job. Kick back, Harry, relax. I have great guys on this. You focus on what's important, building our relationship for the good of Martinez.
It did not come as a surprise to him. He might actually not be bullshitting.
I will not be blackmailed with this gun business.
Harry, I was only trying to be tactful. A lost gun is a dangerous thing. I can't have it around in my neighborhood. Kids could be playing gun roulette with it as we speak. Teenage gangs could be arming themselves. Get a hold of yourself, Harry.
I assure you we are working on locating the missing sidearm as well.
The lieutenant is concerned about the lost gun and feels that the fact you haven't prioritized looking for it is unfortunate, if inevitable, and doesn't put the RCM in a good light.
Excellent, Mr. Kitsuragi. That's excellent news. Looks like we have a friendly gun-finding competition on our hands.
What's in the container that's outside your office?
My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbor. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all of them.
There's something special about it. It was attached to the Valsoon crane.
Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource, and I don't have enough of it to count containers with you.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
I'm looking into your shady brew.
I don't know what that means, Harry. Shady brew? There are so many moving parts in my operation, I can't keep track of them all. You know what? Don't even tell me. Whatever it is, do it. Surprise me. Just one thing. If you can, make it even shadier.
He sincerely has no idea what you were talking about. And he doesn't care either.
I met Joyce, the company representative.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around to her yet. I'm very, very busy, you see. I hope you're getting along. One thing I want to make very clear, Harry, is that this is not some kind of union versus corporation situation. Everyone is just pals here.
Just pals?
We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez here. Don't feel like you can't cooperate with her because you and I are such good friends and I'm helping you get that nasty body down from the tree. And with finding your lost gun. I'm not a jealous guy.
Whoa, that's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice.
Joyce said the previous union leader vanished under suspicious circumstances.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make it here in time for the voting. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait. When she got back, the whole thing was over.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Funny, Joyce didn't mention any casserole.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little matter. Maybe it was a rabbit stew, or a hairdryer, or an iron. The point is, her heart wasn't in it. Mine was.
That much is true. His heart truly is in it, though you wouldn't think so by looking at him. This particular brand of humor he has, it makes for a fine distraction.
Everett, Joyce seems to think the union is lowballing her.
Yes, yes. Low-balling, of course. This isn't a casino, Harry. Real people, real livelihoods are at stake here. But everything's a casino for those rich types.
His expression makes it clear. This is childish and irresponsible behavior.
Why haven't you let her in to see you?
If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator would. And I just don't have anything to discuss with a bad negotiator.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
Are you sure? I find it a little odd.
I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be where I am now if I wasn't nice. Politics is all about emotions, and I want you to have positive emotions when you think of me.
What happened to the previous negotiator, Mr. Galmont?
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go.
He made concessions for the company in previous negotiations. Why would you let an ally like that go?
He's an old man, Harry. I wanted him to spend more time with his family. God knows how long he's got left.
You called him a midget.
Harry, I have little people in my organization. I would never call someone a midget. What is this? Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only kidding, Harry. You're not a midget. No one is. We're pals.
Okay, let's talk about something else.
Of course, Harry. Let me just assure you one more time. It's perfectly okay to share anything we discuss here with this Joyce. This is a completely transparent organization. I have no interest in what she is doing, but I myself have nothing to hide. Your business is your business, and I respect your privacy. Just remember, none of this is secret.
He makes an all-encompassing gesture.
Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing swordfish clock. Tell her how overweight I am and how I'm helping you find your lost gun. Tell her about everything. Everett doesn't mind.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
Everett, I'm going to leave now. But we might talk again later.
Wait. You need this to get in and out through the gate.
He leans and reaches into the drawer and pulls out a plastic card. Great, we don't want to get stuck in here.
Here, you're one of us now. A real red and white Union man. Take care, Harry.
Let me see what I got here. Guess I got the key. Alright, let me look at the journal. Getting the body down, so measure head at the gates will help me. That'll be nice. And then I can open the apartment door for Everett. Everett asks you to open the basement door behind the greenhouse in the backyard to intimidate the occupant. Do what you have to do. Everett has promised to give you info on the case in return. Alright, so a little bit of a longer episode today, but pretty exciting one. Got to meet the Union boss. Got to interrogate him. Good times. I will see you guys on the next episode as always.
Thanks for stopping by the Renaissance Gaming Monastery. I hope you join our community on Discord and Twitter. These videos are produced with a lot of hard work and love. If you think they're worth $1, I'd be grateful for your contribution. You can send a thanks donation or become a member on YouTube. You can also support through PayPal, Patreon, or even with cryptocurrency. All links are in the description. See you on the next video.